My life has drastically improved now that I can see the Cole Sprouse with 20/20 vision without glasses. I just gotta see him in the flesh now. Where can I order that? Hello friends! This has been a long time coming. I am back. 2012 YouTube is alive. For those of you who have no idea who this is, because she doesn't have glasses on, hi, I'm Nicole. So yes, I don't have glasses on. That's an exciting thing. I can see you. 2020, 2015 even, and I'm gonna tell you all about my LASIK eye surgery journey. I'm gonna start by walking you guys through the whole entire process of LASIK. So to begin, what you do is you normally go in for an eye consultation for LASIK. To get to that point, I went in for my yearly eye exam. What I did was like, oh hey, I'm interested in LASIK. And one of the questions I got was, what made you decide to get LASIK, and have you been considering it for a long time? Yes and no. At the same time, growing up, every time that I went in for my yearly eye exam, they're like, oh, when you get older and your prescription stabilizes, because it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. When they said when it would stabilize, I would be a really good candidate for LASIK. So for the past 2 or 3 years, my prescription has been pretty stable. It maybe got a little bit more worse by 0.25, 0.5, so not a huge degree of being terrible. So I went in for my yearly eye exam. I'm kind of been thinking about it. You know, I went to a pool party and I wanted to play basketball in the pool with everybody, and I couldn't because I couldn't be in the pool without my glasses. I can't walk on a straight line without my glasses. I can't drive. I can't do anything. It really never dawned on me until that pool party, like how much I would get out of having my eyesight back completely without having to wear glasses. Like when you're shaving your legs in the shower, you can see your legs. There are so many things that LASIK can give you back almost. You know, you basically get your eyesight back. So yes, I kind of have been considering it for a long time because it's been instilled in me. Every time I went to the doctor, they're like, oh, you're a good candidate person for LASIK. So I'm like, cool, that's in the back of my mind. So about 2 weeks later, I went in for my regular eye appointment. I'm just like, hey, like, I'm kind of interested in LASIK. I don't know what it all entails, but I'd like to know more. And she's like, oh yeah, you have a great prescription, which my prescription is -10.5 in one eye and like -8.5 in the other. When you look at the eye chart, I can't see the top letter, which I think is usually an E. I can't even tell there's a letter there. Another question is, can you get it done with your astigmatism? Can it be corrected? Yes, it can. I had terrible astigmatism in both my eyes. The laser, in addition to fixing your eyesight itself, reshapes your eye when it's getting done, so that's why it can correct astigmatism. The next step is a consultation appointment. I was able to get it the next day, which is just beyond me. This all happened in like half a week. Like it was done, my eyes were surgery lasered in half a week from me saying, oh, I'm interested in LASIK. At the consultation, what they do is it actually takes longer in the consultation than the actual surgery time. You go in, they take pictures of your eye, like it's not hurting at all. They are taking photos of your cornea to see if it is strong enough, essentially. And they said mine's like off the charts, you don't usually see that. The next step is you go into a room. I believe you get your eyes dilated. What you had to do in that room is the actual doctor who performs the surgery has to come in and check your retinas in the back of your eye, and they have to make sure your retinas are strong enough that there's no tears, and that's usually where you get macular degeneration. And I just wanted to make sure that my eyes aren't showing any early signs of that and that my retinas are strong enough to be able to handle the laser eye surgery, because if there's a tear, you probably shouldn't do it because then you'll get the adverse side effects that they all warn you about. And they said, oh, your corneas look good. You had to like look all the way around and they had to shine a light in your eye for both eyes, and it was good. So I said, sign me up. When's the next appointment? But somebody actually canceled this week. My mom was off for the summer on that Friday, and I was like, yes, let's do it when you're here at the house, because you do need somebody to drive you home, because that's when the only pain starts kicking in, is around that time. They put in prescription for eye drops, and I had to go pick them up because the LASIK surgery itself is very drying. If you need to know anything about LASIK, that is a very drying procedure because you're literally getting your eye fried. I had to pick up 3 that were, I believe, antibiotic eye drops that I had to use twice a day for a week after the surgery, and a little bit before as well. I had to pick up another one that I had to use before the surgery as well, twice a day, and that one, as you stop the 3 that you use after a week, you still have to do that one for maybe the next 3 to 6 months or so, because it just prevents drying. And then I just had to pick up regular tears. I use them by this brand. This is just a gel one, but I use the other ones that are just the Optive regular Refresh Optic. And that was it. I had to prep. I had to use the eye drops a certain amount of times a day. Between like the day and 2 days before, you don't wear makeup, you don't put anything on your face because they don't want that to accidentally interfere and get in your eye. Day of surgery comes. I'm a little nervous, but it's taken care of. Let me just say, buy some drugs. So I wake up, I put eye drops in my eyes, I eat a little something because you are going to be taking drugs when you're getting the surgery done, so you probably want to have something in your stomach. The doctor and the information, somebody said like, where did you go? What would you recommend this? And 110%. The doctor I went to is Dr. Jeffrey Robin at France Eye Care, which is located in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Florida. They say people fly in all the time to come to him at this place because he's in the top 1% of people who do these eye surgeries. They even like walked me in and showed me the laser rooms during my consultation, and they said some eye places will put these laser machines on a car and ship it just every month to do the surgery, and then they put the machine back and ship it back. But you have to think, it's Florida, it's wherever you are, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be cold, the laser is gonna be in these weird temperamental weather conditions, and you probably don't want that if you're paying that much amount of money to put it on your eyes for life. Somebody asked how much did it cost. I had a little discount because of the time booking and using like Care Card. It cost about $3,800, which is, some people say, is a good deal for it. So what I've seen is around $4,000 for both eyes total. And yes, that's a lot, but what they say is that if you think about the amount of money that you spend on contacts or glasses every year, it will wind up paying for itself in just a couple of years. That amount of money is almost like an investment, because then once you hit that point of spending that amount of money on glasses, contacts, etc., you're like gaining money because you're not spending it in the long run. But it's worth it if your vision has mellowed out, not continuing to get worse. That's the key to LASIK. Your eyes have to have a stable prescription and you can go in and do it. I arrive at the place, they're all happy because like literally this is life-changing. And I've watched a couple of YouTube videos of the side effects and everything of LASIK, and people are like, oh, doctors won't even get this procedure because they think it's so risky. But like almost half of the people working in this eye place, they've had it done as well. So I was like, if they can do it and they think, they who have a profession in the eye industry think it's a good decision that they want to do it and make that change in their life themselves, then it's a good decision for me as well. I get taken back into a dark room and they're like, this is just for you to relax in here. I'm gonna put some numbing drops in your eyes, just like, you know, when you get dilated. Here comes the drugs now. This is exciting. They give you Valium. It's kind of like a Xanax, but really, really strong. It mellows you out, specifically to calm anxiety, which I have off the charts, and I already take stuff for that, which if you do, make sure that you can take the stuff that they prescribe to you for the eye surgery if you are taking other medications, which I had to do, and I had to make a little bit of changes. So they gave me Valium. I was actually really excited the whole entire time. They're like, oh my gosh, she's so happy. Why is she not like worried? And when you get taken in there, they can hold your hand. It makes me anxious when I squeeze somebody's hand because then they know I'm anxious, and then that makes me more anxious on top of that. So I asked for stress balls, which was really nice. They gave me stress balls. I only had to squeeze them twice because that Valium. So they let me calm down and let the Valium set in for maybe like 30 minutes, and then they take me into the room. They put these little things over your feet, over your hair, because you're literally getting a surgical procedure done. I walk into the room and there's 2 lasers in this room. So this is the LASIK procedure, and it's gonna get a little nauseating maybe if you have a weak stomach, but I'm just gonna go into detail because it really wasn't that bad. The first machine, you lay down, you're numbed, everything is good, so you can't feel a thing. That machine, the process of LASIK is cutting a flap in your eye so they can flip it up and administer the laser inside of it. That just looked really wrong. I'm sorry. When they cut that flap, that is a laser cutting the flap. They're not putting a knife to your eye. It's not dramatic. You can't see them putting like a knife, you know, but you have to keep your eyes open during the whole time. Just like when you go to the dentist, they have a thing that holds your mouth open. They do the same thing with your eyes, and that's honestly the only thing I've felt the entire time. I probably put a couple drops in and then, you know, slice my eye open, and I had to keep my eyes open and looking at like dots and things. I couldn't see regardless regardless because my glasses were off. As soon as they lift that flap after they create it, it's very hazy. The lights that are in there look like the bokeh when you have your glasses off, and that's what you see when you look at like a traffic light or any type of light, that kind of bokeh circle. That's what it looked like, and I actually strangely really enjoy looking at that. The actual creation of the flap took like 7 seconds. They flip my flap back down and somebody guides me, and then they lay me down in the second machine. All this one was, they put a couple drops in my eyes, flip the flap back open, and bring the machine a little bit closer to your face, and I'm seeing like red and green lights, and they're like, keep your eyes open, and it's gonna smell like a hairdryer, like hair burning. And that's actually your eye burning. Somebody asked, like, can you smell your eyes burning? And yeah, but that's the part that reshapes your eye. And I do one eye at a time, and the laser itself and that smell, you only smell it for about 17 seconds, and they counted it for me, which was really nice. And you just had to keep your eye open and look at a specific dot in the middle. You can even see like the laser. That's probably the lights that I was looking at now that I think of it. And then like, okay, that was done. It was perfect. You know, the guy was really nice. He was really soothing. He was like, that's a perfect LASIK procedure. Wow, wow, wow. And then they moved to the next eye. The same thing. They put a couple drops in, flip the flap open, 17 seconds later, it's done. They flip the flap down. And for some people, you have to have a bandage lens, almost like a bandage on your skin. He had to put a bandage contact lens over my eye because there was still some gas, like air bubbles that the laser left under the flap, and the flap is gonna heal back to your eye. They're like, don't worry if it falls out, like it's fine, don't try to put it back in, and we'll just take it out when we see you on Monday, which is like, what, 3 days later? Go back to the room, take your things off. I could see immediately. Not like 100% vision, but like, I didn't need glasses. I could see my mom's face, and she's sitting in a chair when I couldn't even be able to tell who she was if I didn't have my glasses on before the procedure. It was just a little hazy. That's the perfect word to describe it. Just like you have something in your eye and you just kind of want to blink it a lot just to clear it up. That's exactly what it looked like. I had to sit in the chair for maybe like 10 minutes, and they're like, oh, you can take another Valium if you want, because the recovery process starts as soon as you leave the eye place. The only pain that you're supposed to feel from this surgery at all. At this point, I still couldn't feel anything. It starts an hour to, I want to say, up to 5 hours after the surgery, and that's the most pain that you're ever gonna feel, is in that window of time. They recommend you to go home and sleep during that time. So I walked out to the car. I could see, you know, I had some sunglasses on because you want to protect your eyes through this, and I just fell asleep on the way home. It was about a 25-minute ride home, and when I got home, after falling asleep, the pain already started. I could feel it because I was, you know, supposed to be asleep, they say. My eyes didn't hurt necessarily. It was just I was very sensitive to light. When I got home, I was like, Mom, I can't open my eyes. So I just held, you know, like a blanket or something, and that's something I would recommend. That's like any tip is, of course, have somebody drive you home because you have to have that. Yeah, definitely bring a blanket because you're gonna want to cover your face when you're getting out the car on your way to the house. And even when I was inside, I was like, I don't want to look, I don't want to open my eyes. I went to sleep for maybe an hour, and then I woke up. I was in pain. I will not deny. My eyes hurt. I was crying, I'll be honest with you. So my mom called the doctor, and they said, don't cry, it'll dry your eyes out, and to put eye drops in. Like, eye drops are key. Like, start doing that because the salt in your tears will dry up your eyes. So I started putting eye drops in. That helped a lot, and they also said take another Valium, and I was like, sure, give me the drugs. And that knocked me out. I fell asleep, and then I woke up 4 or 5 hours later. I was like, wow, I feel great. I can see, and it didn't hurt. I could sit back on the couch and I could read the television. Like, I could see it, I could see the guide, I could see the words on the news. At that point, I probably had around 65% of my full entire vision back. It was just a little hazy again. I watched a little bit of TV because I wasn't supposed to read, so I was like, oh, I feel guilty, I'm reading the words on the screen. And then my eyes started to just like ache a little bit, kind of like if you have a sore muscle. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go rest my eye. Next morning when I woke up, I had about 70 to 75% of my vision back. So every single day, I got about 10% of my vision back. So it only took around 2 to 3 days to have my full entire vision back. Somebody actually asked me, like, is your night vision affected? And yes, you do not have very good night vision, whether it's you're in like a dimly lit room. It almost makes your eyes ache even more because they're trying to focus on something and the light is too dark. So I had horrible dim light vision. I would like run into the wall. Driving for the first, I would say, week, try to drive not around nighttime or a sunset or sunrise. You can do it, absolutely. It's just unpleasant. After about a week, the night vision is completely fine. A week or two, I'd give it in between that. It's been about 3-4 weeks by the time you see this, and I can see perfectly in every condition. The healing process does take between like 3 to 6 months, and sometimes they say even up to a year, but I pretty much have my full vision back at this point. It's just minor aches of my eyes. Another big thing that I experienced within the first 2 weeks of surgery, you just definitely have to rest your eyes. Plan times for naps because you're gonna need them, especially within the first week. The other things that I may have forgotten about the recovery process: can't wear makeup for the first week. Showering and sleeping, you had to wear goggles. Just what you'd expect, really flimsy. They actually have comfort in them, and you just have to, cute. They don't want you to rub your eyes because that can rub the flap from healing. It can like dislodge it or side to side, so you don't want to rub your eye. I wore these during the shower. You don't want, for the first 2 weeks, the direct shower stream to go right on your face. I just wore these because I was like, I don't want to get shampoo in my eye. Also, they say don't exercise for the first 2 weeks, which I didn't have a problem with. Also, don't go like in any pools, hot tub, because they don't want something accidentally splashing or getting in your eye. I was sad I couldn't take a bath for like 2 weeks. Some people said, what if your vision gets worse? As I get older, my vision may like deviate a little bit. I believe you could just get glasses on top of that, but because my prescription has been very stable, I should be good, and if I need a contact lens, I can do that because I don't have astigmatism anymore. A couple other questions that I'll quickly address. Do your eyes still hurt? Yes, but the eye drops at this point, 3 weeks on, it will totally fix any hurt that you have. And this is my favorite question. Honestly, I should just make a 20-second video just reading this question and answering it. Has my life drastically improved with LASIK now that I can see Cole Sprouse with 20/20 vision? Yes, my life has drastically improved now that I can see the Cole Sprouse with 20/20 vision without glasses. I just gotta see him in the flesh now. Where can I order that? So yes, that is LASIK, and that is my experience with LASIK. I wish I could laser all of my problems away because of how fast and how well it went. Is there a laser for being lactose intolerant? Because I'll sign up. I would recommend it to anybody. It is easy, it is a breeze. You could go to work the next day after having this procedure and be completely fine. You can drive, you can do all of these things. Definitely, if you have any questions, absolutely message me on Twitter, Instagram, down in the comments below, anything. I will be more than happy to go off and answer these because this has been the easiest thing I've ever done. Every aspect of it was incredible, and I would recommend it 100% to anybody who does it. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you soon because the YouTube is back. I'll see you next time. Bye.